What's good, everybody? It's your boy Wilder, and we are back with another rebuild episode. Today, we are going to be doing a brand new ported throttle body and a brand new cold air intake. We're just replacing the filter. Cold air intake that we have on there is good. We just need a new filter. It's been like fucking 8 years to replace that shit. So we're going to go ahead and get into that right today. Why we're replacing the throttle body, and there's nothing wrong with it. It works just fine. However, a ported or milled throttle body, what that does is it makes that throttle body a little bit wider. The reason why we want it a little bit wider, more air equals more power. So that's why we're doing that today. And the reason why we're replacing the air filter, like I said, we haven't replaced it in a while. We already have a cold air intake on there, but the reason why we're putting a new one on there, help it breathe better. Eventually, we're going to be doing the spark plugs, oil change, and everything like that in the next episode. So just to let it run a little bit cleaner, get that cleaner air inside. Again, it's just been a while since we replaced it, so we're going to go ahead and hop right into this. We've already kind of started. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and disconnect that battery. On this vehicle, it's all the way in the back, so super easy, super simple to get to. You don't have to like do anything hard. So we've already disconnected that. Let's get right into it, boys. We already got the cover off the engine. Everything we're going to be working on is right here. This is super simple. We got to take this air box off. Makes it a lot easier to put in the new filter, take the old filter off, and then it's simple. 2 screws here to hold on that hose clamp, and then 4 more bolts, 2 connectors. Easy pop on, super simple bolt on to add like 10-20 horsepower according to the website. But we're gonna go ahead and get right into this. Again, we gotta remove this. We've already kind of done everything. Already taken that bad boy off. Once we get this connector off, or this air box off, it's gonna be super simple. Like I said, we have 2 screws and 4 bolts to get all of this done. So we're gonna go ahead and toss this over here because we don't need that one anymore. And we're gonna go ahead and get this air box off. Now, once you get that air box off, like I said, it's gonna kind of free up a ton of space here to get that air filter out. But while we have that out, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this throttle body as well. So you wanna go ahead and disconnect this cable here. So go ahead and disconnect that, set it off to the side. You have 1 more on the top here. Same thing, you just pop this bad boy out. Really don't need a screwdriver, but it helps out a ton because these have been in here since it was factory. You just want to make sure you're not going to break anything when you're pulling this out. And there we go. So she's popped out. We're going to go ahead and take these 2 screws out while we're here. Get this hose clamp disconnected. And this should just slide right out. Sure did. Now we have like a couple other connections. I'm honestly not going to worry about disconnecting them. Like I said, it's going to be super easy. A little bit of buildup in this throttle body. Not really concerned about it. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, again, it's a 2006, 115,000 miles on it. So again, not too worried about what's going on in there. But we'll go ahead and explain exactly what the throttle body does to you right now.
Now, on an OEM HEMI throttle body, they have what is called a Venturi effect. The Venturi effect is a principle of fluid dynamics where airspeed increases and pressure drops. In a throttle body, this plays a huge role in controlling airflow into the engine. The throttle plate opens and air is drawn through a narrow section of the intake. The narrowing causes the air to speed up and pressure to decrease, which helps create a vacuum drawing in more air to the air-fuel mixture, thus creating more power. The stock OEM throttle body on this vehicle is only 80 millimeters, so if we can widen that, we would get more air. Now, most aftermarket throttle bodies available for this vehicle only mill the inside. They don't offer the Venturi effect, meaning they only widen that inner diameter of the throttle body, not offering it that vacuum style suction. While the one that we purchased from Modern Muscle Extreme offers both. It's an OEM style. In fact, it's a genuine Mopar part milled out the inside, which allows us to get both a Venturi effect and a wider inlet to take on more air.
So we're going to go ahead and take out these 4mm bolts, or 4 8mm bolts that hold on this throttle body. And once we get that bad boy off, it's going to be pop a new one on. Simple and easy. Again, this is going to be a quick, easy way to get 10 to 20 horsepower according to the website from Modern Muscle Extreme. And there she is, only broke a minor fucking sweat. We got the old versus new. Like I said, they're gonna be the same size visually, but it's 7 millimeters wider in this one than it is in this one. It's gonna allow way more airflow. Again, more air equals more power. We are hoping the PCM learns relatively quickly. Now, it could be a quick thing. It could be a 50-mile thing, if that makes sense. So the PCM may take some time to learn. Typically, when you disconnect the battery and you rehook it up, it'll usually just take like an idle cycle. However, sometimes it can take like, just like any other check engine lights, type thing may take 50 to 100 miles to drive through to get that check engine light to come off. This is kind of similar. Not that it should throw a check engine light. We're hoping it doesn't. They say it doesn't, but we're fitting to find the fuck out. So the one thing that's different between the OEM, this is actually a 2012 to 2016 or something like that Charger throttle body. So they're all the same. They just have different connectors. So we have an adapter here. This just plugs into the original one. Super simple, super easy. You lock that one into place, push this clip back down, maybe, well, and then you just plug it in right over here. Same shit, different day. It's all good to go there. And then we're gonna go ahead and reinstall this intake pipe and then the filter before we put the airbox back on. So we got the new and the old. As you can see, we just went with a Spectre or Spectre, whatever the fuck you wanna call this company. But super simple. Again, just one hose clamp will get this on. It'll breathe a lot better, as you can tell. I mean, this was originally red. I think you can still kind of tell it's red, but it looks old and crusty. It was just time for a new one. Is it gonna be big enough or not? But we have little adapters here. It's a 4-inch on a 3-inch pipe. They don't sell a lot of 3-inch pipes for some reason that I could find locally. In fact, this was like the only one I could find of like a cone cold air intake. Don't know why, but we're gonna need at least one of these adapters, maybe two. Tighten that bad boy down, come back here, make sure these are tightened. We are good to go. We got one more bolt to put this airbox back in, and then we will see y'all in the car for a ride. All right, moment of truth, guys. We got everything installed. Hood's still open. We're gonna see if it throws a check engine light. It theoretically shouldn't, based off of everything, but let's go ahead and check it out. Muy bien, just TPMS light, which I need to get those replaced at some point, but we're fine. Let's go ahead and hop in and go for a quick ride. So now theoretically, it's supposed to have better throttle response, which I believe it will. I mean, it's a brand new throttle body, but really, we're not gonna notice anything too much. Again, we might notice the throttle response, but we're not gonna notice anything horsepower-wise. Like I said, it's gonna be 10 to 20 horsepower. The old throttle body, again, just being older, you can definitely tell it had a little bit of lag to it. The throttle response wasn't great, but I don't anticipate it being like a noticeable change. But again, more air is supposed to give it more fuel over time once the PCM relearns it. It didn't throw check engine light, so it's gonna take it a little bit to relearn that it's getting more air anyways. We're gonna go ahead and get on it here. It feels good. It definitely felt like it got up and went way faster. I didn't put my foot to the floor at first. Wanted to see how it was going to react, kind of like at a 30. Not that we got there, but I think it was a lot more fluent. It felt a lot quicker at a mid-step there. Again, just a quick little trip here. We're going to ride this around a little bit and see what we can figure out. All in all, guys, I think this is probably the best bang for your buck. If you're on a cheap budget build and you're just looking to add like 10, 15 horsepower to a Hemi, you're looking for better throttle response on something that's cheap. Again, this whole part cost me $300 and then $70 for an air filter. Now, granted, I already had a cold air intake, so I didn't have to go spend $300 on that. But for $400, I mean, after shipping was $400 for everything. This is probably the best mod that I could have done in this first episode. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If y'all did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what else you want to see me do to this vehicle. We do have phase 1 and phase 2 planned, but that doesn't mean your idea is not on there. Let's go ahead and run this one up. Let's get this one to, let's say, 500 views, and I'll give you a kiss on the lips.